beautiful people, and thank you for joining me. I'm Snappy, and welcome to Drawing Down the Stars. And thank you for coming out to our live tarot session on today, July 27, 2024. Let's give a shout out to the chat, shall we? Good evening, Nikosmas. Great to see you, Graham. Much love, Kari. Good to see you, Gandhi. Great to see you, Dorian. Amazing. Else do we have here? Good to see you, Michelle. Much love, Mother Rhea. Amazing. Excuse me. Good to see you, Nikki. Welcome. All right. We're going to have such a beautiful day today. When I was looking at the astrology, I noticed, today we have now that moon fully in Taurus. Hi, Demon. Great to see you. The moon in Taurus is all about being in the earth, being grounded in our foundation, focusing upon our pillars, our family, our loved ones, that which is most important, right? Now is the time to really reflect upon these things. In the moon, we can really dive deep, go into that intuitive sense of self, and really feel where our family is, who our family is. These core relationships are so important, and that moon in Taurus is really deep magical energy in this sense. We do also have this tendency to be stubborn at this time, right? To be very grounded and to be really fixated upon what we want and what we believe, and combined with the Sun in Leo, we're going to have a lot of that confidence and strength, the bull and the lion united, right? And this is also really loving energy where we can really deeply, again, connect to those core relationships in our lives, And when I was thinking about the cards this morning and I was doing my meditations and I was drawing, I drew the Magician. When I think about the Magician, I immediately think of the Logos, reason, right? And that search, lighting of the torch and seeking out after wisdom, that Hermes energy. And it's just such beautiful, profound energy. And I really want us to think about this idea of the search for truth and what that truly means within our individual lives, right? We need to recognize how complicated something like truth is, and that absolute truth is something that's beyond our individual conception, right? That truth, like everything else, is in flux and in flow, and it moves with the spirit of Rhea, right? And we have to see this and embody this and recognize, life is absurd, and that there are truths. The only way that we can find them is through sharing of perspectives, through shining a light, right? Through coming in community and building upon those different ideas, right? It's only through education and through exposure and through communication and community that we can know anything, And it's so important when we talk of truth that we shine that light inward. Know thyself. It's what's written on the walls of Eleusis. You may not be able to know the absolute truth of the universe, but you can know the true self. You can embody who you are, and you can learn the secrets inside of you, right? Beautiful. And thinking also on this magic of the Magician, I immediately thought of this beautiful poem by Algernon Charles Swinburne. It's a short one I'm going to read for you guys. It's called The Lute and the Lyre. Deep desire that pierces heart and spirit to the root, finds reluctant voice in verse that yearns like soaring fire, takes exultant voice when music holds in high pursuit. Deep desire. Keen as burns the passion of the rose, whose buds respire. Strong as grows the yearning of the blossom toward the fruit. Sounds the secret half unspoken ere the deep tones tire. Slow subsides the rapture that possessed love's flower soft lute. Slow the palpitation of the triumph of the lyre. Still the soul feels burn, a flame unslaked, though these be mute. Deep desire. Magic is desire. right? And manifestation, imagining, channeling that passion into an image and creating into the future, right? Creating with the self and creating with the other. Deep desire. And this poem is all about that connection, whether it's a physical love connection or a connection with the muse. It's that erotic connection. It's that deep, magical inspiration that takes hold, right? And as soon as it's gone, you're lusting after it again. It's but a moment, but those moments are worth a lifetime. And we ever chase and we ever create, searching after them, singing our song in harmony with each other, right? Lute and lyre. Beautiful. All right. We're now going to jump to our sortes. And today we're going to start our sortes with Euripides, 10 plays, 10 classic plays by the master himself. And for those of you who don't know, the sortes is a form of bibliomancy, that is divination by literature. And we invoke the spirits of the muses, and we ask them to inspire us and to select a message at random. We read it out and we take inspiration. So muses, guide my hand. What is the message? How do we move and flow? Inspire us this evening. All right. O brightest light of our Bacchant revel, how glad I am to see you. We were alone, forsaken. O brightest light of our Bacchant revel, how glad I am to see you. We were alone, forsaken. Wow. Is that not beautiful? Brightest light of our Bacchant revel. They speak of Dionysus, right? The chorus leader, the torchbearer himself. And are we not glad to see them? We were alone, forsaken. For he brings us together in community, in regeneration, in rejuvenation. Helps us to face the despair, right? To move ever forward in evolution. Wow. Beautiful. Love it. Okay. We're now going to go over to Homer, the Iliad and the Odyssey. Muse, guide my hand. What is the inspiration from Homer this evening? Okay. Ulysses feigns for his true good. Wow. Ulysses feigns for his true good. What is it to feign, right? To tell a tale, to tell a story, to feign an argument, to lie, to exaggerate. For his true good. Is that not interesting? Even the great Odysseus, right? I think the message here is to remember, right? Often we are put in positions where we could be compromising ourselves and we could cause ourselves great pain, you know? Always remember the true good, or you could cause great pain to others, you know? There's power in speech and there's power in how you wield it. And honesty is not always the best option. Reason above all else. Let reason guide you. I'm not saying to be dishonest, but I am saying to strive for good. I am saying to use reason to guide your hand. And you will know when it is necessary to make those sacrifices and to say something to protect that goodness, right? Wow. Let's continue. Boccaccio, the Decameron. Beautiful book. Muses, guide my hand. What is the message from Boccaccio? They told him, and 'twas found to have been exactly as they said, by which and other evidence 'twas established. They told him, and 'twas found to have been exactly as they said, by which and other evidence 'twas established. Is this not reason on full display? By taking what is told to you, confirming it, and then expanding that confirmation via other evidence before you make your decision, really formulating a balanced perspective, right? Learning to move and flow and to take what you need to make a reasoned judgment. Beautiful. That's magic, right? And that's a powerful act, a powerful act. All right, let's continue. Book of Thoth. Muses, guide my hand. What is the message from the Book of Thoth? For this reason, one sees the wand taking the form of the lotus in blossom. The sun has enkindled the great mother. The lotus in many ways represents the lingam, in that enkindling, that divine sexual union, the coming together and blossoming, the giving birth, right? When the flower unfolds, it reveals the stamen, right? The phallus, but it sits within that beautiful blossom, you know, the vulva. It's that beautiful connection, incredible. Coming together of masculine and feminine to create perfect beauty, right? Let's continue. Libra 420. This is a fun one. All right. Muses, guide my hand. What is the message from Libra 420? The phallic broom. Another challenging idea proposed by Hastis is now common belief that the witches applied their ointments vaginally with brooms. Of course they did, right? Of course they did. A lot of this magic is for use in childbirth. And it's not so much the broomstick. The broomstick became euphemistic. But we even see this with the magic wand. What do you think a magic wand is? It's an applicator, right? To administer medicines, you know? And especially when you're talking about ancient medicine, they do not have access to needles and they need to bypass the stomach. How are they going to introduce medicine into the body? Right? Beautiful. But, right, that phallus, that magic wand, it's a medical applicator, right? Wild. And the same with the broomstick. Riding upon the broomstick and taking flight. Beautiful. All right. Parvati Darpana by Harsha Videhasia. Muse, guide my hand. What is the inspiration from Dr. Dehasia? Just as an arrow fixed to a bow and drawn with great force flies forth, so, beloved, does Bindu fly forward with the force of awareness. Wow. Right? Bindu, this is deep magic. Bindu brings the utterance and cognition. You know, an arrow fixed to a bow and drawn with great force flies forth. So, beloved, does Bindu fly forward with the force of awareness. Right? It's about knowledge and perception and about that power of love. Wow. Right? It's about bringing the mind to bliss, going through that middle path, learning to launch your perception like an arrow to cut through. Magic. Wild. Love it. All right. We are going to hop over here to my dear friend Graham and his incredible poetry collection, The Shape of My Will. After today's episode, Graham and I are going to be talking about Emperor Julian and an incredible work he wrote called The Hymn to King Helios. This is going to get wild. Lots of magic, mythology, and just amazing stuff. Emperor Julian is one of the most interesting people in history. Roman emperor who apostated from Christianity, returned back to paganism, and tried to reestablish the ancient religion of his forefathers before dying in battle against the Persians, only after 20 months of rule, then becoming a demonic figure within the Christian world to follow. So that will be so much fun. All right, let's get to Graham. Muses, guide my hand. What is the message from Graham? Inspire us. Yesterday, I didn't know who or where I was. Yesterday, I didn't know who or where I was. Oof, that's an intense line. But I think it's important that we look at the first word. Yesterday, I didn't know who or where I was. This is that power of reflection, reflecting upon a past act, right? Reflecting upon a place where you have been. This is about also an overcoming, right? As much as there is a fear and there's a recognition that in the past there was a loss of self, a separation, there isn't one in the present, right? And this is about also recognizing that you can go through the transformation. Yesterday I didn't know, but today I did. Or today I do, right? Today I will. I will. That's the magic of the magician. The magician is the one who says, I will. I will act. I will move. I will tell the story, right? The magician is both a wizard scientist who can produce flame and a donkey, a trickster who's telling stories. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. He goes through and pursues it anyway. And he gets results because of belief and action above all. If you tell a story, the universe has a wild way of wanting to work with you. You don't need to believe me. Do it yourself. All right, this was fun. We're doing a shorter episode today because of the hymn to King Helios. So we're going to hop over now to our tarot proper. And we are going to do the Saturn Square. And as always, we are using the Thoth Tarot of Lady Frida Harris and Aleister Crowley. We're going to invoke that divine Saturn Kronos. We are going to ask him to dissect our life, to cut it up and put it on the plate, to show our conflicts, to show our present, to show us how we best move and flow, how we overcome our current situation and evolve, how we manifest our true will. And as always, the center card is the most important card. All right, let's see what we have here. The Knight of Swords. Beautiful energy. The Knight of Swords is magical energy in the sense that this is that outgoing, active energy of the one who's pursuing knowledge, right? And the one who has knowledge to share and to utilize, who's moving forth in action and in this pursuit and in this direction, right? This could be engaging in conflict, but it is conflict in order to prove a point, right? There is a profound knowledge here that must be shared, that must be brought forward, right? The Knight of Air is a warrior. All right, let's see. Wow. But there's defeat here. This is that energy of believing that you cannot, right? energy of inability to move forward, conflicts, right? This is about organization and overcoming, applying reason. 5 is 1 away from the 6. With that Knight, if you take the moment to reflect and do that work, you can transform this 5 into that 6 of science and reason. You know, the key is to be in that state of belief and not to doubt yourself, right? Paradoxically, this is about not applying enough logic, about not seeing yourself for who you are, not seeing your true potential, right? You are showing up as the Knight. You're being unreasonable. This defeat is unreasonable, right? You are the strongest force. You are the one who can go out and apply that force, apply that reason, you know? You need to apply it to this self and transform this into science. All right. Wow. Prudence energy. What is the Knight actively doing? Protecting and tending to the tree, right? This is about protecting what you have built, right? The tree requires watering. The fruit must be tended to. The garden must be protected from weeds, right? All of that hard work to sustain and maintain and to expand, you know? The 8 is balanced and is comfortable here, but it wants to grow and it wants to stay strong, and both require a lot of attention. Wow. So this is about being prudent too and not moving too fast or too forward, right? Making sure you have everything planned out and secure, right? Taking the right actions. Let's see where this is going. Wow. Princess of Cups. Beautiful, loving, divine child energy, right? This is that loving new relationship energy, that new birth. And it's something that must be tended to. And what I'm seeing here is that the Knight is moving towards this child. It's moving towards coming in connection with this. And this is profound energy, right? The Knight is showing up mature. He can rescue the princess, right? The Knight has the ability to defend, right? It's that Athena energy, you know? So this is beautiful connection. Let's see where this is going. Wow. And connected to that divine child is the Empress, right? The absolute feminine, that divine mother who represents the totality of femininity, right? Both Aphrodite Urania, the queen of starry heaven, the divine virginal mother, the absolute pure, and Aphrodite Pandemos, the lover of all, who gives her love freely, in joy and in harmony, right? Beautiful. And that's connected to that princess. So what I'm seeing is like, this is there's most likely a mother here, right? With a child. And this is about moving in connection with coming into flow with them. And the key to coming into flow with them is to be in this virtuous pursuit, right? Hecate trivia, that force that searches out the Cori, Persephone, right? In love, in virtue, to help the mother Demeter, right? This is beautiful energy, and this is reminding you that to move and flow with this Empress and this child, you must show up in virtue. You must show up with the best of intentions, and you got to show up to protect and to be that light. Wow. But we're seeing here with this energy, though, at the top, connected to the Knight and connected to that Princess of Cups, is that we have cruelty, overthinking, belief that maybe we are not responsible enough. We are not mature enough, right? The divine child, that princess energy, requires responsibility, requires care, requires nurturing, right? The Knight is capable of nurturing, right? The Knight has that ability if they choose to accept it. But what we're seeing here is that there's this profound cruelty. The 9 of Swords, overwhelming overthought, right? Being harmful to ourselves, believing we are incapable, not worthy, can't do. Wow, that's intense energy. Let's see where this is going. Connected to that cruelty, we have Nine of Cups. So much profound happiness, so much connection, so much love, so much attention, right? So much joy. Again, this joy connected to the cruelty. You know, again, I feel it's this energy of overthinking, of feeling, you know, sometimes when we have these cards of like happiness and joy, we do not believe that we are worthy. We do not believe that we deserve, right? And we hold ourselves back from it. We prevent ourselves from fully embracing and engaging with this energy, right? But what I'm seeing here is this is energy that is matching each other, right? So in spite of your self-cruelty and your self-isolation, this love keeps coming in regardless. You know? Let's see. Yeah. The key, the real reason why there's this self-cruelty here and there's this reluctance to accept the happiness is because there is this failure, right? This is failure to expand and to build upon the present, to grow your tower, right? This is probably a reflection upon past failures, past connections, past relationships, past business ventures, right? Coming up short before. Can you take responsibility this time? Are you capable? Are you able? Right? This is where the cruelty is stemming from. But what we saw in the first row was that prudence. We are not failing, we are succeeding. We are just moving in pace, right? We are in that state of building and tending, nurturing, right? The tree does not grow overnight. There's too much of this reflection upon past failures, upon this inability to expand, and less about this focus on the fore, right? That base, that who you are and what you represent. You know, this love is coming in because of other things, not because you're expanding, but because of what you already have built, right? Beautiful. Intense, but beautiful. Okay. Before I flip my camera and we look at the full square, can you please give me a like and a subscribe? They really do make a big difference with the algorithm. It will boost everything for me, and it's a beautiful little blessing and good karma. And if you're at all interested in a private reading, you can send me a message, snappydds@gmail.com, or you can reach me on the Myth and Lore Discord. I'm Snappy or Lady Snappy, and you'll find all of that information in the description. All right, here we go. Let's take a look at our fourth square. Okay. This is the totality of our energy. We'll start here. Right? We have that defeat. Wow. What this is about is that there's this connection with this divine feminine energy, and this is bringing in profound happiness and joy, right? But there's this belief that you're unworthy, right? There's a belief that you can't have this, that you can't succeed, you can't connect to this loving energy, even though this happiness is present in here, right? But as we can see, this is not reasonable thought, right? The 5 is falling short. It needs more energy from the swords. And if you were to apply more energy, that would transform into the 6, into science and reason. And then you would see things clearly, that there is happiness and there is this connection. And this is flowing in a beautiful way. Do not misjudge yourself, right? Let the love in. Be reasonable. Don't self-deprecate. All right. Again, we see the same kind of energy, but even more so, right? And the sense why I see this energy even more intense is because of the responsibility to the child, right? And having to move and take responsibility, believing that this is going to be incredibly challenging, that we're incapable. Yeah, intense. Let's go here. Wow. The key to overcoming these failures, the key to a lot of this energy right now is to just be prudent, to get your ducks in a row, to organize and tend to the tree, to tend to your garden, to water and protect what you have built and help it continue. And to be virtuous, to continue to move forward and to shine a light and to keep growing and moving in that direction. If you move with this energy, you will overcome these failures. You will move past this, right? This is energy that is falling to the wayside. It just requires that fire of passion and honesty and that tending to what you have and that moving forward, creating a solid plan of action, right? Prudence is about continuing to build, but in this reasoned, calculated way. And that is the key to success here. Beautiful. All right, let's do our crosses. Yeah, this happiness is coming in because of this virtue and because we're moving in this love and in this direction, because of this powerful honesty and this ability to be in that virtuous light, right? This is profound, passionate energy. And this love, this joy, right? It's about us being able to channel this virtue, this passion, that energy of that Hecate trivia, right? Connecting in this way will allow us to move forward in flow, right? In that fiery, passionate, logical pursuit, right? Towards this love, towards this joy. Amazing. Right? This connection here with the divine feminine, right? With that empress energy, the knight who's pursuing his queen, his empress, and moving in flow to come into communion with her, right? The issue is this failure, right? Trying to expand and to move, to come together, right? Reflecting upon these past failures. And what I see is that there's failure probably for both parties here, right? For the knight and for the empress, right? Past, and it's not, when we look at the failure card, the failure is not the tower, right? The failure is that inability to expand. There's still a solid foundation, but you haven't been able to grow. You haven't been able to do what you've desired. And when you've tried, it's been painful. And these are two people who want to come into communion and harmony and work together and build, but they both have pasts, right? Of failing to do so. And this is energy that must be overcome together. And it's overcome through this joy, through this virtue, and through this prudence, you know? And being in connection and taking responsibility for the divine child, right? Part of that virtue is recognizing that, you know, children are the utmost importance and responsibility, right? And our center card that night wishes to be in any connection with the empress, absolutely must recognize this, right? Beautiful. So the message here is to move and flow, to be in that logical pursuit, to see things clearly, to see that you and this feminine are working and are doing the right things, that you're in this harmony, you're building, you're connecting in passion. You just need to overcome the cruelty and the defeat and the failure, right? Self-deprecating energy and energy of the past, not the present, and not the future, right? Beautiful. All right, everyone. I hope that resonated with you. It certainly resonated with me. All right. For our final sorties this evening, I'm going to read from Hore by Gabriel Macari. All right. Muse, guide my hand. What is the inspiration from Hore? What permits cosmic existence is by default restricted and restriction itself. Right? It's like that heartbeat that pumps the blood through your body, right? You need to have that force, that give and take in order for love to grow. Death and love, two sides of either coin, right? Love and compulsion, as Empedocles would say. Right? Beautiful. All right, everyone. I hope to see you in a little bit when I come back with my dear friend Graham to talk about the hymn to King Helios by Emperor Julian the Apostate. All right. Peace and love, everyone. And I'll see you in a bit. Take care.